Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Houston Rockets and Indiana Pacers. The Houston Rockets are rolling into Indiana to take on the Pacers, and this one has the makings of a high-energy, up-tempo battle. Both squads have plenty to play for, but they're coming into this matchup with different narratives. Indiana is fighting to lock down home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, sitting at 34-25 and tied for 4th in the East. They know they're not on the same level as the true contenders in the conference, but securing that 4th seed would go a long way in making their postseason a little more manageable. With Tyrese Halliburton orchestrating the offense and Pascal Siakam settling in as a go-to option, the Pacers remain an offensive-minded squad, but their defensive struggles are hard to ignore. They're still among the worst defensive teams in the league, and their rebounding woes haven't helped much either. On the other side, Houston's been a tough team to figure out. They had a hot start to the season, looking like one of the best squads in the West, but consistency has been their biggest enemy. They're still sitting in a respectable 5th place at 37-24, but their recent stretch has been shaky. They've had trouble stringing together wins, and injuries to key players like Alperen Sengun, Dillon Brooks, and Fred VanVleet have thrown off their rhythm. When this Rockets squad is locked in, their aggressive defense makes life miserable for opponents, but when they're shorthanded, that intensity starts to slip. They're still one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and that could be a big factor against an Indiana team that struggles in that department. But Houston's offensive inconsistency has been an issue all season. Looking at the recent history between these two teams, Indiana has had Houston's number for a while. The Rockets finally snapped a 9-game losing streak against the Pacers in their last meeting, but overall, Indiana has dominated this matchup. And right now, it's tough to put much faith in Houston, especially considering they're coming off a back-to-back. They just played the Thunder, one of the best teams in the league, and now they have to turn around and deal with a Pacers squad that loves to push the pace. That's a tough ask, especially if they're still dealing with injuries. Diving into the numbers, Indiana sits at 16th in net rating at plus 0.9, while Houston is up at 7th with a plus 4.0 rating. The biggest gap between these teams is on the boards, where the Rockets are the best rebounding team in the league at 52.8%, while the Pacers rank near the bottom at 27th with just 48.3%. That's a major advantage for Houston if they can take care of business inside. Both teams also get to the free throw line at a solid rate, with Houston ranking 5th in the NBA in attempts per game and Indiana sitting at 18th. And in terms of offensive efficiency, the Pacers have the edge, ranking 8th in the league with a 115.1 offensive rating, while Houston is a bit behind at 15th with a 113.4 rating. So, how do we see this one playing out? Honestly, I think Indiana gets the job done at home, but I'm not all that interested in betting on a side here. What really jumps out to me is the total. These teams both have the ability to put up points, and with Houston's rebounding edge giving them extra possessions, this feels like a game that should clear the number. Indiana's defense has been leaky all year, and while Houston has relied on its defense, their current injury situation makes them vulnerable. If I'm placing a bet on this one, I'm rolling with the over 229. The pace should be fast, the offense should be flowing, and I expect this game to turn into a high-scoring affair.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, Couriered Check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Atlanta Hawks. I've got to say, the Milwaukee Bucks are looking red hot right now. At 34-25, they've won 6 of their last 7 games, and it's easy to see why. Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing at an MVP level, and when you add Damian Lillard into the mix, this team becomes nearly unstoppable. Lillard has really started to find his groove, and when he and Giannis are both clicking, it's hard to imagine any defense that can slow them down. The Bucks are firing on all cylinders offensively, and their defense is no slouch either. They've been solid all season, and with the way Giannis has been crashing the boards and Lopez patrolling the paint, they've got all the tools to make a serious run in the East. On the flip side, the Atlanta Hawks are struggling, and it's hard to ignore the fact that they've dropped 5 of their last 6 games. Trae Young is still the engine that makes this team go, but he's been somewhat inconsistent, and with Jalen Johnson out for the rest of the season, it's been even harder for the Hawks to find a rhythm. Sure, they've had some decent wins, like their road upset over the Grizzlies, but they're not exactly stringing together any momentum. And that's a big problem this late in the season, especially with the playoffs right around the corner. The Hawks need more than just Trae to show up every night if they want to make any real noise. This matchup is really stacking up in Milwaukee's favor. First off, the Hawks will be coming off a back-to-back, traveling from Memphis to Atlanta, which is never easy. Meanwhile, the Bucks will be well-rested, and we all know that rest advantage can make all the difference in the league. Add to that the fact that the Bucks are playing some of their best basketball of the season, and I'm not sure the Hawks will be able to keep up. Giannis is going to eat up that Atlanta defense, and with Lillard pulling the strings, I just don't see a way for the Hawks to contain them. The Bucks' offense has been one of the most efficient in the league, and they've got 5 guys averaging double figures, so it's not just about Giannis and Lillard, it's about their depth. Meanwhile, the Hawks' defense is a mess. They're giving up nearly 120 points per game and can't seem to stop anyone, especially with Clint Capella not able to guard Giannis down low. Now, when it comes to Atlanta's offense, they've got some scoring punch, no doubt. Trae Young is a walking bucket, averaging nearly 24 points and 11 assists per game. He's one of the best passers in the league, and his ability to create shots is crucial for the Hawks. But as we've seen, it's hard for one guy to carry a team against a well-rounded squad like Milwaukee. The Hawks have been too reliant on Trae, and with the rest of the supporting cast, including LeVert and Rizitor, struggling to find consistency, it's going to be tough for Atlanta to compete with the Bucks' firepower. We've already seen these teams go at it a few times this season, and while the Hawks have taken 2 of the 3 matchups, those games were close and took place earlier in the season. The Bucks are a different team now. They've found their rhythm, and I'm confident they'll come out with a chip on their shoulder, especially after that tough loss to the Hawks in February. Milwaukee is playing some of the best basketball in the league right now, and the Hawks, especially with their defensive woes, are going to have a hard time keeping up. At the end of the day, I just don't see how the Hawks have enough to hang with the Bucks here. Milwaukee's got the depth, the stars, and the defensive prowess to shut down Atlanta's offense. With the Bucks playing their best ball and the Hawks dealing with travel fatigue and injuries, I think Milwaukee covers the spread and walks away with a solid win. This one feels like a no-brainer for the Bucks to come out on top and keep their winning streak going. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Golden State Warriors and New York Knicks. This upcoming game between the New York Knicks and the Golden State Warriors is setting up to be an electric matchup. The Warriors are riding a solid wave of momentum, especially after a strong performance against the Charlotte Hornets. Stephen Curry has been nothing short of unreal lately, with his 56-point explosion against Orlando showing he still got it at the highest level. The addition of Jimmy Butler has given this Warriors squad a whole new dynamic, taking some pressure off Curry, allowing him to be more of a playmaker, while still getting his own shots off. That's been key to Golden State's success, and when you add in their deep rotation, guys like Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, and Moses Moody, this team becomes even more dangerous, particularly with their sharpshooting. Golden State has been scorching from beyond the arc, averaging 15.3 threes a game, which is going to test the Knicks' perimeter defense big time. We know that New York has had issues defending the three ball this season, and the Warriors will absolutely exploit that. But let's not forget about the Knicks. They've been on a tear, winning 3 straight and sitting comfortably at 40-20, with a potent offense that ranks third in the league. Jalen Brunson has been a major catalyst, stepping up with clutch scoring and playmaking, and his recent 31-point performance shows how much of a beast he's been. If Karl-Anthony Towns is on the floor, his presence in the paint could really cause problems for the Warriors. Towns brings the muscle inside and the ability to pull down boards, and his combination of size and skill might give Golden State's smaller lineup a headache. The Knicks have a nice balance in their attack, with strong secondary pieces like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart. With these guys in the mix, New York's offense has been hard to stop. That said, the Knicks aren't without their own issues, particularly on defense. Their defensive rating sits in the lower half of the league, and they've been a bit leaky, especially in guarding the three-pointer. Golden State has plenty of shooters who can stretch the floor, and with Curry at the helm, that's going to put a lot of pressure on New York's defense to rotate and close out quickly. The Warriors will be looking to take full advantage of that, especially with the Knicks ranking near the bottom in three-point defense. While the Knicks can light it up offensively, they'll have a tough time keeping up with Golden State's firepower if they can't lock down shooters on the perimeter. One thing to note is that the Knicks' wins haven't been by large margins. Most of their recent victories have been tight, scraping by with wins in the single digits against teams like Atlanta and Chicago. This could be a factor here, as it's tough to keep pace with a team like Golden State that can explode for big scoring runs, especially when they're hitting shots from everywhere. While the Knicks have a lot of talent, they may not be able to keep the Warriors at bay if it comes down to a high-scoring affair. I'm expecting this game to be an offensive showcase, with both teams getting buckets, but ultimately, Golden State's ability to shoot the ball from deep and their offensive depth should give them the edge. The Knicks will put up a fight, but I think the Warriors will pull away in the end. With all the scoring potential on both sides, I'm leaning towards the total points going over 228. The Warriors' three-point shooting and offensive firepower, combined with New York's willingness to push the pace, makes this game prime for a high-scoring finish. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Clippers and Phoenix Suns. Both the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Clippers are coming into this matchup with some serious struggles, but if you ask me, the Clippers are in a better spot to turn things around. The Suns have been on a rough slide, sitting at 28-33 and losing 8 of their last 10 games. What's really hurting them is their defense. They've been giving up 122.3 points per game over the past stretch, and that's just not going to get a gun. Sure, their offense has been solid, averaging 115.4 points per game and shooting 48.3% from the field. But if you can't defend, it's tough to win in this league. Phoenix has been especially bad when they allow over 115 points. They're 8-29 in those situations this season. Even with stars like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, the Suns just haven't been able to put it together. Their defense has been a mess, and that's been their downfall all season. They're now 4 games out of the final play-in spot, and honestly, it feels like they're just going through the motions at this point. Their record against the spread is the worst in the league, and they've struggled even when they're favorites at home. It's hard to back a team that's got so many issues, even if their roster looks good on paper. The Clippers, on the other hand, have their own problems, but they've managed to stay competitive despite injuries. Kawhi Leonard has missed a lot of games, but when he's on the floor, he's still a top-tier talent. The Clippers' defense has been elite, though. They're currently the 4th best defensive team in the league, holding opponents to just 110.6 points per 100 possessions. That defense is really the only thing keeping them in games because their offense has been brutal. They've only been averaging 106.8 points per game, and when they score under 110, their record is an ugly 8-21. But even though they've been struggling to put up points, their defense has been tough enough to keep them from falling apart completely. Looking at this game, I just don't see the Suns being able to keep up with the Clippers. Phoenix can score, but their defense is way too leaky to slow down a team like Los Angeles, even with all their offensive issues. The Clippers have been solid as road favorites this season with an 8-5 record, and they'll look to build on that here. If they can stick to their defensive game plan, they'll limit Phoenix's scoring and have a good chance to cover the spread. At the end of the day, I think the Clippers have the edge here. They've got the defense to stifle Phoenix, and the Suns just don't have the juice to keep up. Despite their own struggles, Los Angeles has been the more consistent team, and I think they'll come out with the win. If you're betting on this one, I'm taking the Clippers to grab the W and cover the spread.